Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our series on connectivity. I am Sabar Azad, joining you once again straight from Routica. With me today is the ever insightful Joseph Castrain from our engineering services. Since you have enjoyed our first episode a lot, which introduced you to our goals and services at Routica, we thought of creating a series of episodes. This way, you can not only make the most of our router's features, but also stay updated on the latest developments at our end. So, here we are with the latest episode of our series, which, by the way, we named No Routica Better. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of cellular carrier operations, especially as they relate to our Explorer series routers. Joseph, it is wonderful to have you here again. How are you?
Thank you so much, Saba. I'm doing very well. It's certainly my pleasure to be back again, and particularly to share various insights on how Routica is revolutionizing connectivity with our frontline technology and innovative solutions.
Absolutely, Joseph. Today, we are focusing on something that touches all our users directly. So, typically, we'll be talking about cellular networks or carriers and how our users connect via cellular providers using our routers. So, let's jump right in. Why are the Explorer series routers a great choice for use with cellular providers?
Well, Saba, firstly, all of our Explorer series routers are designed to operate seamlessly with the big six carriers in North America, as well as other third-party carriers. This compatibility means that users can save on data costs by sharing a single data plan across all their devices in an RV. It also makes things simpler and helps save money since you don't need different plans for each connected device.
Speaking of the Big Six, could you tell our listeners who the Big Six carriers are in North America?
Of course, the big six carriers implies the most predominant cellular carriers within North America. In the United States, they consist of AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon respectively, while on the other hand in Canada, those include Bell Mobility, Rogers Wireless, and TELUS. Our routers are built to automatically configure themselves for use with these carriers. Just insert the SIM card, power up the router, and you're good to go. How simple and user-friendly is that?
That is incredibly user friendly, and it seems like simplicity is key here. But what happens if someone is not using a Big Six carrier?
That's a great question, and it's actually quite common. If you're using a carrier outside the Big Six, our Explorer series still performs excellently. The Explorer series routers allow for manual configuration with other third-party carriers, providing users with the flexibility regardless of the chosen carrier.
All right, and how can one tell, Joseph, if a third party carrier is compatible with our routers?
Okay, for this, users will need to contact the third-party carrier and check if the carrier uses IMEI locking. IMEI locking restricts the use of all unapproved devices on their network. If they do, it's highly likely all other routers, including the Explorer series routers, will not be compatible under most circumstances. What this simply means is that only devices that are approved and provided by the third-party carriers themselves can only be used on their network.
That sounds interesting. And what details are needed from a third party carrier to set up the Explorer series routers?
You will need the specific APN, which is the access point name string for use on that carrier's network. Once you have determined the APN, you can then manually set up a cellular connection through our Routica app and insert the APN string. Just a few taps and you're connected. It's designed to be simple, user-friendly, and straightforward.
That's great. I want you to tell me, are the Explorer series routers compatible with carriers VPNs, that is, virtual provider networks?
Yes, for sure. They are fully compatible. For VPN connectivity, you will again need the proper APN string to use and possibly a username and/or password that's provided by your carrier. Then, you will need to create a manual cellular connection to input your specific APN and user credentials as required. It's not complicated at all, and with just a few taps of the mobile app screen, you're good to go. This setup then allows for secure, reliable connections across all your devices that connect to the Explorer router.
Sounds great. Let's talk about the pros and cons of using third party carriers. And I'd like you to highlight them for our listeners.
Okay, the pros, they definitely include competitive pricing and wide local availability in many local shops and retail stores. Plus, usually there is no contract or long-term agreements for service as an added benefit. However, on the other hand, the cons, it can be the technical complexity of configuration, the carrier's potential of using IMEI locks, possible limited technical support, and you may not have the same coverage as the larger nationwide Big Six carriers.
All right, Joseph. So, my next question is what kind of SIM card do the Explorer series of routers use?
Well, the Explorer 1 model, it uses a full-size SIM card, while the Explorer 2 and 3 models, they use a nano SIM card. We provide adapters in the Explorer 1 kit so that no matter what size your SIM card, it will convert either a nano or a micro SIM card to a full-size SIM card to fit the Explorer 1 router. Routica is committed to providing the necessary SIM card adapters to facilitate this versatility.
Definitely. Now, tell me, can users fully configure the cellular settings on Explorer series routers?
Absolutely. While our routers are set for automatic configuration by default to simplify the user's setup process, we provide full customization options for those who prefer to manually adjust their settings. This includes selecting different carriers, entering the specific APN to use, and details for your VPN configuration if required, as well as other settings.
Joseph, it sounds like the Explorer series are as flexible as they are powerful. Thank you for shedding light on these operations and how they empower our users.
It was truly my pleasure, Saba, and I'm excited to continue various topic discussions with you and our listeners in the future.
Definitely. Thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in. Remember, with Routica, staying connected is as straightforward as hitting the road. For more details, visit us at www.routica.com. Until next time, stay connected wherever you are. Keep tuning in for more insights and updates right here on our podcast.